How's it going, everyone? We're going to have a little chat with some casters here. We have 2 from the TCG side, 2 from the Pokemon Go side. We're going to talk about the tournament and how our preparation has come to get us here and really what we expect about the event. So, Shay, let me ask you what you think about the metagame going into this tournament.
It's interesting because I feel as if we're getting towards the end of this format, right? It's feel pretty much solved. You know, you got the 3 big decks. And I think for the most part, the player base are eagerly awaiting the next format. So I guess my question for you guys is does the Go format tend to move quite often, or is it quite locked in for a long period of time?
So we have a move change every 3 months whenever the season changes in both GBL and the current updates and stuff we have in the game, like different spawns. And sometimes they change quite a lot and they add new moves to old Pokemon, change moves, and sometimes they do much less. Like this season, for example, we've had only 2 rather significant updates, but one of them will quite likely see quite the role in the next coming regionals.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because we have like one Pokemon, Noctowl, that is very prominent. You will see people playing it all the time. And then I kind of noticed the same when I was discussing things with TCG players. Most people seem to be running a Lugia deck, right? Is this something that you think you guys are going to see a lot in Utrecht?
Yeah, for sure. It just seems like one of the most dominant decks. It's not really going to change much over these next few weeks. Sure, there are counter strategies going on, but there's nothing really stopping Lugia from still being very popular and still being one of the best earners in terms of points and prizes this weekend. So I would imagine it's going to be really popular. So going into a special event like this, how do you think it's going to change people's preparation going into the tournament?
I think there's a lot of people, because there's not really an entry fee for it, so to say, that even people who are qualified, they're still wanting to play it. And then it also gives a lot of opportunity for people who, you know, maybe couldn't make it to a different event but wanted to register. So I think for Go, this is our largest tournament as far as registrations that we've had so far.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, Liverpool was the biggest one so far, and now we've crashed the numbers again by 40 players, I think. And then EUIC already is bigger as well. So I think we are definitely going to hit the maximum quite soon.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Shay, but because it is a special event and it's only really championship points on the line, I'm hoping that people are going to be a little bit more creative and hopefully we see more experimentation going into the tournament. Is there anything that you have your eye on as a sort of archetype that could come out of the woodwork, or maybe see a little bit of play as a tech card in some certain decks?
I guess Snorlax. I think always like to see Snorlax doing really well. I could see him having an uptick in play. I think even if it is just CP online, I feel as if a lot of TCG players can be a little bit boring, unfortunately. So I don't think we're going to see anything
it's a tough
too
invite
outrageous
this year. So still really, really important to be here and earning a lot of championship points. And that is the whole emphasis of a special event. Even though there aren't the same level of prizes, there's still a lot of esteem that can come from winning a special. And it's really good for championship points. I imagine it's the same system for you guys. I know championship points aren't really a thing, but this is still a great way to achieve your invite this weekend.
Yeah, that's actually, I was going to ask you, when you were talking about championship points, could you maybe explain that? Because in Go, we don't have it. So how does the qualifications for TCG work?
Do you want to take it?
Yeah, so you have to earn a minimum threshold of championship points to get your invitation to the World Championships. So normally in Europe it's 350 points if you're a master, but because of the restrictions, as it were, we actually get to earn 250, and then you earn certain championship points depending on how well you do at regionals, events, special events, or internationals. Internationals give a whole ton, but I'm fairly certain Pokemon Go has a really different invite style, right?
Yeah.
Yes, in Pokemon Go, only the top 2 players of each regional make it to Worlds, which the first one also gets a travel award. And at international championships, it's the top 4 and the top 2 get a travel award. I heard on TCG you also can get travel awards to go to other regions' international championships.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that accumulation of points is really important, and there'll be windows of opportunity for different international championships, and getting into those international championships with a travel award is a great opportunity for you. Obviously helps financially those players get to these other regions and firstly experience a great time in a different region, and also be in an opportunity to once again achieve a huge amount of points. So it really is a big deal. Ultimate goal is obviously Yokohama for everyone, but it's really interesting to have that system of we're doing little and often trying trying to chip away at an invite, and you guys can really focus in on just one tournament, and that one breakout can be, your whole year sort of satisfied. You can sort of pat yourself on the back and then just enjoy the rest of your tournaments that you go to with a lot less pressure.
In the same way, I think it can be devastating for players as well, because we have a lot of players who are very good and they're really well known. Most of the time hitting top 8, which is day 2, but never quite making it all the way. And we have so many good players here that it's really cool to see, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to take it home in Utrecht.
I have a question, because I was thinking, just as we was talking now, if TCG invite was like that, where you had to win a regional or get top 4 at an international, I think players' approaches to deck building, they might be more inclined to take more risks at an event. Would you say that when you play Pokemon Go, if someone was gunning for their invite, are they more predispositioned to take more risks with their team building and try and go the whole way? Because at least sitting here, it sounds like a Pokemon Go might not reward safe play as much.
So I definitely think that a lot of players do try to find at least 1 or 2 picks that are counter meta that have a lot of play against the core Pokemon that everybody brings. But at least 4 of the Pokemon will always be some of the meta staples that a lot of people bring.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time, guys, to have a little chat about the tournament that we're getting into today. And with that said, we'll go back into the next round.